Well, now on Nightside, why a Spokane Neighborhood Council took back their support for a new dog park.
The hottest day of the season so far is in the forecast for Wednesday. I'll let you know how hot it is going to get, Aaron.
Thank you, Chris. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside. Well, soon it could be a misdemeanor offense to be in any Spokane park after hours. Right now, it's only a civil infraction, but an ordinance making its way through the city council could change that. According to the Spokane Police Department, violence and vandalism are on the rise in parks during the overnight hours. Police say they have lost control of their parks because there are no real consequences for being there after hours. And if this ordinance passes, they hope it will deter dangerous groups from these spaces and in turn reduce crime.
These people normally wouldn't associate with one another, but the park provides them the opportunity to where now we're together and things can escalate.
The ordinance is scheduled for a vote on Monday, the 12th. Some councilors are looking for hard data points that would make this tactic or would prove that this tactic is effective in preventing crime before greenlighting the change. Washington's free fishing weekend returns Saturday and Sunday. There are a couple things you need to know before you go on fish. No license is needed unless you're going for any fish requiring a catch record card like sturgeon, salmon, and halibut. For species that don't require a license, other rules like size and daily limits are still in effect. Also this Saturday, National Get Outdoors Day. It's one of the 12 days a year when a Discover Pass is not required at any state parks. If you're planning to go fishing, looks like the weather is going to cooperate. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker in the First Alert Weather Center.
That is true. You may run into a shower or two on Saturday, but most of the day will be dry. In the meantime, we have some big changes coming in our weather. Our high temperatures today were in the 80s around the region, just a couple of 90s on the map. We are going to be warmer tomorrow. In fact, it should be the hottest day of the year so far with a high of 91 in Spokane. That's 20 degrees above average. 80s for Pullman, St. Mary's, and Kellogg, but we'll be in the 90s for Omak and Grand Coulee. 98 degrees in Lewiston, right around the Spokane area, mid-90s in Spokane Valley and Meade, and it will be in the 80s in Spangle and Fairchild Air Force Base as well as Spirit Lake, but 90s elsewhere around the region. Again, temperatures well above average. Taking a look on our satellite and radar, we have had some high clouds filtering our evening starlight. Those clouds are going to thin a little bit, but there are more on the way. They will be moving in tomorrow evening, along with some big changes in our weather pattern heading into Thursday. In the meantime, enjoy sunshine. I don't know if you can enjoy 91. I know some people do. 71 is our average high. I'll be back to tell you about those changes and some showers and thunderstorms in the forecast in just a few minutes, Aaron.
Chris, thank you. What was supposed to be a meeting to get feedback on designs for a new dog park turned into one neighborhood pushing for Spokane Parks to select a different location. The Minnehaha Neighborhood Council took back their support for the dog park this afternoon. New on Nightside, Rania Kaur has the neighborhood's concerns and what's next.
Around 50 people chose to spend their Tuesday evening here at Cooper Elementary learning about the city's plan to turn Upriver Park into Spokane's second community dog park. Stuart Blankenship has been waiting for the new location.
You'll have 40 or 50 dogs up at the South Hill Dog Park at any given time at a busy time. Lots of dogs in a small area cause fights. My dog's a runner, a greyhound. He needs to run.
While Blankenship is on board, not everyone else is. One group against the new dog park is the Minnehaha Neighborhood Council, who says just a few blocks away from the proposed new dog park is Minnehaha Park, which will also have a new dog park.
I think if we were to really come to the table and take a look at Minnehaha Park, there might be a way that we could use one of their designs and actually use it in the park.
Spokane Parks and Recreation says only a few acres were designated as a dog park in Minnehaha Park. Their minimum requirement for a community dog park was 7 acres. Shannon Ben making it clear in the meeting many neighbors didn't have a say.
These people were given 1 hour of parks time and the night before they decided to go ahead and do a vote on this.
In Spokane, Rania Kaur, 4 News Now.
Well, Spokane says the feedback from this meeting will be compiled and shared with the park board, who will make the final decision to move forward with design. The city still needs to get a permit if and when the design is approved. The city says it hopes to have the community dog park built by the end of the year. Tomorrow, the Spokane Public School Board will vote on whether to join other school districts suing social media companies for the impact they've had on students' mental health. The list of companies include Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. The civil suit looks to hold the companies accountable for how they use and manage their products. A recent study found that social media plays a major role in harming children's self-esteem.
We know that bullying, harassment, threats, intimidation, we know that conversations about substance abuse is happening, about self-harm is happening. We know it's having a negative impact on kids.
It's not just school districts wanting to hold social media companies responsible. I recently sat down with local lawmakers, including Representative Kathy McMorris Rogers, to see what they're doing to protect your kids online. If you want to watch my special report, download the KXLY Plus app, click on the Social Media Effect tab. Kids will be out of school in just a couple of weeks, and not all students have access to meals during summer break. Spokane Public Schools will launch its federally funded summer meal program later in the month. The program runs from the 22nd of June to the 18th of August. It served thousands of students last year. Meals will be served at various times and various locations. Spokane Public Schools wants to make sure accessibility goes beyond the school year.
It also helps alleviate some of the strain on other local programs like food banks and things like that, because families who need it can go access it at a closer site that they usually access it during the school year versus bombarding programs through the summer.
SPS served 2,000 students a day last summer. They say it's on track to do about the same this time around. Your child does not need to be enrolled in Spokane Public Schools to receive a meal, but they do have to be under 18 years of age.
And time for a look at First Sports. I'm Julian Minenzone. Big 12 president Brett Yormark is reportedly still pushing for Gonzaga to join the conference. Yormark, he's getting a lot of pushback right now from other Big 12 members. That's according to CBS Sports' Dennis Dodd. The Big 12's expansion negotiations with Gonzaga and other schools are expected to be center stage during the conference's spring meetings this week. Now, Commissioner Yormark began conversations with Gonzaga several months ago as part of his plan to expand and add value to the Big 12's basketball pedigree. And coming up in sports, the school the Big 12 is leaning towards adding instead of Gonzaga. For now, live in the studio, Julian Minenzone, 4 News Now Sports.
Julian, thank you. A contentious issue from the beginning. Tonight, the Liberty Lake City Council voted not to override the mayor's veto on an ordinance giving the city council more power over what books are allowed on library shelves. The mayor recently vetoed the ordinance, saying the proposed changes were short-sighted and the wording was confusing. The veto upset some city council members, including Chris Cargill, who said he felt betrayed and worried about what the board might do without input from the city council.
Until we have more oversight, I will not be voting to approve any budget requests that come from the library. And until we have more oversight, I will be very skeptical of any proposals that come from the executive branch. And I wish I didn't have to take these steps, but I think a major trust has been broken.
Other council members, including Annie Kurtz, chose not to override the veto, acknowledging that while they may not like it, the mayor is meant to balance out the legislative body.
I have concerns about that we have an elected official on the record saying that he's not going to support the library moving forward because there was a veto of a legislation that is within the law. And the mayor is the checks and balances of this legislative body. Leading with threats from the dais is not the way that I think we should be leading here, and it needs to stop.
The library board will stay autonomous and keep the authority to decide what books are allowed in Liberty Lake libraries. California is planning to expand Dolly Parton's Imagination Library to the entire state. The Imagination Library is a book gifting program that mails free books to kids under 5 years old. California has 2.4 million kids that age. It's also slated to become the first state to provide books in Spanish. Dolly Parton's Imagination Library has gifted more than 200 million books across the nation since it launched in 1995. In response to a growing number of book bans around the country, the owners of a California bookstore decided to build a book fair on wheels that elevates LGBTQ+ authors. Christian Cordero reports.
Making its debut at LA Pride on Sunday, this bus is much more than a bus. It's a book fair on wheels and an act of defiance.
It started as such a dream, based with everything going on in the world. We were like, what can we do?
Adam Powell and Eric Cervini run Shop Queer, an independent bookshop that elevates LGBTQ+ authors. In response to the growing number of book bans happening today, they turned their dream into a purpose and very quickly found people who shared it.
We've been working with an incredible trans architect who designed and helped build the entire inside of the bus. The outside was designed by an incredible non-binary designer and Latino artist in New York.
After a summer of pop-ups in LA, the two plan to take the bus to communities around the country, particularly ones that may not have access to these types of stories. Stories like James Baldwin's Giovanni Room.
Written in 1956, right? An openly gay black man writing about, a gay love story in Paris in the 50s.
The bus, they say, will hold about 1,000 books and drives like a U-Haul.
The team behind this bus is trying to spread positive change outside. And in doing so, it is rethinking what a school bus looks like inside.
So as you walk through and you see these little alcoves, it's going to feel like you're walking through a rainbow.
Adam and Eric are trying to create a space where people can escape, but look close enough and you'll see they are very much rooted in reality.
Are you afraid at all?
I think anyone driving something so bright and colorful as this would be, very protective of it to begin with. But also, just like any driver on the road, you want to protect yourself. And I think, this is where we're really going to rely on the knowledge, the expertise, and the community of the places that we visit.
A lesson not lost on them either is they will also find community wherever they visit. Christiane Cordero, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Violent video of demonstrators clashing and fights erupting during a protest today outside the meeting of the Glendale School District Board, which was scheduled to vote on whether to recognize June as Pride Month. Police in riot gear kept pro-LGBTQ protesters and conservative groups separated. Conservative protesters say the state's curriculum violates their rights as parents, while pro-LGBTQ demonstrators said queer youth should feel safe and represented in schools. Coming up on Nightside, how wildfires in Canada are affecting air quality in the U.S.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Live with Kelly and Mark every weekday morning.
Wildfires can strike even in the heart of our cities and towns. One historic fire in particular changed everything in Washington. The lessons learned and what could be the difference between saving your home or losing everything. Kirsten O'Connor reports Thursday on 4 News Now at 6.
Pop the champagne, humanity. We've done it.
Celebrate your night with big winners, shocking thrills, and living legends.
I've always thought of you as Dave Jr.
Every hair on my body is standing up right now.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC. When you carefully strap down your toys, or play it safe on moving day, or listen to that inner voice that says, this really needs a cover, you're doing your part to help everyone on Washington's roads get home safely. So, keep the supplies you need handy, secure your cargo properly, and ask others to do the same. Secure your load for safer roads. Learn the ropes at secureloadswa.org.
Take a look at the Kohler Luckstone shower from Pacific Bath Company, featuring Kohler's innovative recessed shower locker with storage space inside the wall, and the low-profile shower base will make your bathroom feel larger. With our Kohler certified installers and a licensed plumber on every job, we can install in 2 days or less. And now you'll save with $1,500 off your new Kohler Luckstone shower, or 0% interest for 36 months. Call Pacific Bath Company.
Today, Grady turns 1. Already he plans to wrestle alligators, try his hand at the culinary arts, and explore the world. With Dream Ahead College Investment Plan, you can start saving for their future anywhere in the country. Don't borrow your children's future, build it at 529.wa.gov.
4 News Now is brought to you by Horizon Credit Union, proud sponsor of the Extreme Team.
Thanks for staying up with us. Washington State Patrol is reporting this man, 54-year-old Willard Crazy Mule, is missing. He was last seen near downtown Spokane around 5th and Walnut on May 10th. If you see him, you're asked to call 911. Tonight, rescue crews are searching for 80-year-old Dawes Eddy, a decorated mountaineer who went missing after embarking on a solo trip to Mount Rainier 7 days ago. Eddy began his climb early Tuesday morning with a plan to return the following day. He never showed up, prompting search and rescue crews to begin scouring the mountain. Eddie is a decorated climber, at one point being the oldest man to climb Mount Everest at 66. He suffered a scary moment during a climb last year, suffering multiple injuries, but even that couldn't keep him away.
Yeah, last year they had to airlift him off a mountain. He fell, tripped, busted himself up pretty good. Hit his head, knocked some teeth out, I think. Scarred up his face, but he was right back at it as soon as he could. Of course, we're all still hoping, so we'll hopefully we get some good news here soon.
It was reported late this afternoon that search crews found a deceased hiker matching Eddie's description in a crevasse on the southeast slope of the mountain. The medical examiner in Pierce County has not yet confirmed that the body is his. This was Eddie's 50th ascent of Mount Rainier. Across the Northeast and Midwest, millions of people are under air quality alerts as smoke from wildfires in Canada drifts into the U.S. Canadian officials say they're currently tracking more than 400 active fires, and at least 26,000 people were forced to evacuate.
I want to go home, and I'm sure that everybody else here does too.
In the U.S., the smoke could be pushed further south and east before week's end.
Feels so bad for the people in Canada, and that smoke will be likely working its way into the inland Northwest off and on through the summer. Tonight, though, the skies are mostly clear, 58 degrees for an overnight low. For tomorrow, a high of 91, sunny and hot. That temperature is 20 degrees above average. We are going to see some changes in our weather pattern, although it's part of a weather pattern we've been stuck in off and on for the past 3 weeks. Low pressure to our south, sending clouds and showers and thunderstorms to the north. So far, we've been out of its grasp this week, seeing a few high clouds drifting through tonight. But as we get into Thursday, we're going to really start to see some of that moisture along with the showers and thunderstorms, and then eventually some cooler weather along with it, all again connected to low pressure that has been semi-permanent over the past month over the Sierra Nevada and into the Four Corners region. Our forecast radar for tomorrow, we'll see a few clouds in the afternoon. By 5 o'clock tomorrow, the first round of showers and thunderstorms into the central and southern portions of the Panhandle. That will taper off to just a few light showers overnight. And then on Thursday, we really start to see some showers and thunderstorms develop across the rest of the inland Northwest, and that will take us into a showery and at times thunderstorm-prone Friday. 76, that's where our cooling trend bottoms out, and then we start warming right back up again. Chance of showers on Saturday, but only a 30% chance. And then with that area of low pressure just to our south, at least a slight chance of showers through the middle of next week. Aaron?
Thank you, Chris. Ford is recalling thousands of hybrids for a second time. It comes after its first recall failed to address a fire hazard. This round includes 125,000 of the most recent years of Escapes, Mavericks, and Corsairs. Their gas engines can leak oil or vapors. The vehicles are hybrids or hybrid plug-ins, so people could keep driving with a failed engine. Ford says it's received 28 reports of fires. 5 are from after it recalled mainly the same vehicles for the same reason last year. The U.S. Consumer Report is urging parents to stop using boppy newborn loungers. The commission says 2 more infants have died after it's issued a massive recall. The production of that specific type in 2021, the CPSC warned at the time that the lounger posed a risk of suffocation if infants rolled. The agency recommends that the best place for an infant to sleep is on a firm, flat surface in a crib, bassinet, or play yard. President Joe Biden sat down with his cabinet today for the first time since January, focusing on the economy. The White House highlighting the deal to avoid default, infrastructure investment, and job creation. With the debt ceiling crisis resolved, more economists are leaning away from the idea that the Federal Reserve's interest rate hikes could slow the economy to a halt.
He believes that we can continue to get things done, and there's a long list of legislative agenda that he wants to see.
And consumers keep spending, even though major retailers like Macy's and Costco have reported a shift towards less expensive food, essentials, and services as 2 years of high inflation takes a toll. Clock is ticking down on what could be a major strike that has the potential to affect millions of American households. Workers with United Parcel Service will vote this week to authorize a strike if their union does not reach a new contract by August 1st. If employees walk, it would be the largest work stoppage in U.S. history. UPS has 340,000 employees. Its union, the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, represents more than half the workforce. USPS says it has reached an agreement on several major issues, but both sides are bargaining over pay increases, benefits, and better working conditions. Gun violence is deadlier than ever. That's next on Nightside.
Later tonight on Nightline, how DNA detective work might have cracked a serial rape case, the shocking arrest, and how this could lead to justice in other unsolved cases. Plus, our exclusive interview with Elliot Page and his message about trans visibility.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Spokane's hottest music.
Break me so done with you, girl. I've been popping, man, I feel just like a rock star.
Hot 96.9.
Hepatitis C, don't just treat it, crush it with Maverick.
Conquer it with Maverick.
Cure it with Maverick. Maverick cures all types of Hep C.
In only 8 weeks.
The virus multiplies daily and can damage the liver over time. Maverick stops Hep C and cures it. If you've had hepatitis B, it may flare up and cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you've had Hep B, a liver or kidney transplant, other liver problems, HIV, other medical conditions, and all your medicines. Do not take Maverick with atazanavir or rifampin. Report right away yellow skin, stomach pain or swelling, confusion and bleeding or bruising.
Hep C, crush it with Maverick.
Conquer it.
Cure it in only 8 weeks. See Hep C gone with Maverick.
Ask your doctor about Maverick. AbbVie could help you save.
Get $200 when you open a new checking account with Horizon Credit Union. When you bank with us, you'll get expert guides to help you on your financial journey. A pathfinder, an advisor, a teammate, a guardian, and peace of mind wherever you're headed next. So, if you're ready for a better banking experience, sign up in branch or online with the promo code GET200. Horizon Credit Union, your path, our purpose.
Is it your day to water? Know if you are odd or even and be water wise this summer.
Wildfires can strike at any time. 4 News Now Fire Watch coverage keeps you safe on TV and on the go to protect your family.
Be on alert, there are flames.
That's what we mean when we say expect more.
It's Live with Kelly and Mark. Every weekday morning.
Weekdays at 9 a.m. only on 4 News Now.
4 News Now is brought to you by Washington's Lottery and Hit 5.
Here are 4 things to know about your weather. We'll be in the 50s and 60s tonight, but then up in the 90s tomorrow for highs. Stormy conditions on Thursday, and then a cooler weekend ahead in the 70s. Even though we are not in a heat wave, 91 is still well above average for this time of year. And some information from the National Weather Service regarding heat-related illness. Most heat-related deaths occur outside of heat waves. So it is important on these days in the 90s to avoid overexertion, stay hydrated. It bears repeating because I know no matter how many times people hear it, myself included, sometimes you lose track of that hydration. Never leave people or pets in a vehicle. Those hot car deaths, as we learned tragically very recently over in Tacoma, can occur year-round. And assist those who are at higher risk. Those are your elderly, children. Check on those neighbors as we have these hot summer days. We do have some cooler weather coming. However, this white line right here is our average high, and that is in the lower 70s. So we are going to be above average through the 7-day forecast, even though we have a pretty good dip on the way. Pick of the night tonight, it's a pretty one from our good friend Pat Schilling. Something that here on the night shift we rarely get to see unless something goes very wrong. The sunrise over Spokane. Lovely shot here from Pat. The sunrise, by the way, right now is at 4:54, Aaron. When was, unless you were getting a plane, I bet you haven't seen that time in a while.
Yeah, I have. I don't think I've seen that in years. Maybe not. I have taken a few early flights. But
yeah, that's about the only time.
I'm driving away from the sunrise.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris. Thanks, Pat. Well, 2 people were killed, 5 others were shot, and 2 suspects, including a 19-year-old, are in custody following a shooting at a high school graduation ceremony in Richmond, Virginia. All Richmond schools will be closed tomorrow. Gun violence was deadlier than ever in the U.S. in 2021. That's according to a new report from the Johns Hopkins Center for Gun Violence Solutions. They found both gun-related homicides and suicides reached record levels in 2021, leading to nearly 49,000 total gun deaths. The lead author said record gun sales, along with increasingly permissive gun laws, are making gun violence a pervasive part of life in the U.S. And a co-author said it's clear from the data that states with stronger gun violence prevention laws have lower rates of gun violence. Seattle Mariners earned a much-needed victory. Which players came up clutch and what it means for the team's playoff hopes? That's coming up in sports.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by Fairway Floor.
To everyone who sees anyone bullying, don't just watch. Act.
Together, we can put an end to bullying.
You can learn more at disney.com/choose-kindness.
Big Tobacco thinks they know everything. They think they know you, your community, the places you go, and the way that you spend your time. They think they got you all figured out. Down to a formula, a calculation based off of numbers of what they think they know. Show them they're wrong. Learn more at theythinktheyknowyou.org.
Here's the latest expansion news from Spokane Tribe Casino. Check out the expanded Caesars Sportsbook, now the largest in the area. With even more room, more betting options than before, and a buddy bar with bar top games. Plus, be on the lookout for the all-new smoke-free gaming area, also coming soon.
Cool off with a win. You've got a chance to take home a cooler filled with up to $5,000 only at Spokane Tribe Casino. You just win here.
Wildfires can strike at any time. 4 News Now Fire Watch coverage keeps you safe.
Where a brush fire has shut down Highway 195.
4 News Now, alerting you, delivering crucial information when and where you need it to protect your family.
Multiple fires burning right now in both Washington and Idaho.
Tell us about the state of the fire right now.
When every second counts, count on 4 News Now, on TV and on the go with the 4 News Now app. That's what we mean when we say, expect more.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into sports. I'm Julian Minenso. Now, we've all had a bad week at work before, right? We shake it off, though. The Mariners, they're hoping one bad week doesn't define their season. The team has lost 3 straight. The playoffs? Still possible, but only slightly. Seattle has 6 teams ahead of them for that final postseason spot. The Mariners were looking to turn things around on the road against the San Diego Padres. We start in the 6th inning, game tied at 1. Teoscar Hernandez, he's at the plate, and he is one strong guy. Hernandez hits this one 420 feet to give Seattle the lead. Few innings later, it's Julio Rodriguez flexing his muscles. He hits this one 436 feet. Okay, guys, we get it. You lift. Now here is Hernandez once again, this time in the 8th. And this time, he actually keeps the ball in the ballpark. That scores a run as Seattle extends the lead to 4-1. And Paul Sewald was in to close things out for the Mariners in the 9th. Now, the Padres got some guys on base to make it interesting. Tying run up here, but Sewald puts an end to that real quick, as he's done so many times before for the Mariners. Mariners snap a 3-game losing streak. 4-1 is the final. Seattle will take on the Padres one more time tomorrow. First pitch is at 1:10 p.m. The idea of Gonzaga joining the Big 12 is getting some significant pushback. According to Dennis Dodd of CBS Sports, there has been mutual admiration between Gonzaga and the Big 12, but there is stronger momentum for UConn to join the conference rather than Gonzaga right now. The Big 12's expansion negotiations with Gonzaga and other schools are expected to heat up during the conference's spring meetings this week. Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark began conversations with Gonzaga several months ago as part of his plan to expand and add value to what he called the #1 basketball conference. Now let's take a look at both schools and how they would fit into the Big 12. Gonzaga has made 8 straight Sweet 16s. They've also reached the national championship game twice, but the numbers, they're in Gonzaga's favor in each of the rounds of the NCAA tournament, except for one, the national title game. The Bulldogs are still looking to win that first title. UConn beat Gonzaga in the Elite Eight on their way to winning a national championship this past season. Washington State basketball signed highly touted incoming freshman Spencer Mahoney. Mahoney will play for the Cougars next season. He's been ranked as high as #2 in New York, and the 6'9" Mahoney averaged 18 points a game during his senior year of high school. And the Denver Nuggets and Miami Heat will go head-to-head in Game 3 of the NBA Finals tomorrow. The Heat won Game 2 to even the series when the NBA Finals, and they're tied at 1-1. The team that's won Game 3 has gone to win the series 80% of the time. So the Nuggets, they're the favorites to win this series in totality, but Denver has their backs against the wall, and the next 2 games, they're in Miami.
We have to learn from Game 2 and use it to our advantage, to your point, Tim. And what I know about our group is for years now, we've handled adversity very well, and I have no doubt that tomorrow night will be a much more disciplined, urgent team for 48 minutes.
Should be a good one. Game 3 tips off at 5:30 tomorrow night, and you can watch the NBA Finals right here on 4 News Now. That'll wrap us up for sports. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow on GMA, it's Alicia Keys. And this week, Sarah Jessica Parker and Samuel L. Jackson, all live right here.
You gotta love it.
Plus, fantastic Father's Day deals and steals. This week on
Good Morning, America.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
Shoo-wee, that is fast.
I'm telling you, these guys are pros. They made my classes the same day.
The same day? Shoo-wee.
Oh, yeah. Other stores make you wait, but Eyeglass World makes their classes right there in their same-day lab.
I'm at a loss for words.
How about shoo-wee?
Shoo-wee.
Get 2 pairs of glasses for $89 the same day at Eyeglass World, the world's best way to buy glasses.
What if you had to choose between fixing the roof over your head and putting food on the table? What if that leak led to mold growing in your home? What if that meant you could not focus on finding a new job, or your children could no longer focus on learning? What if you no longer had a safe place to call home? Help Rebuilding Together make emergency repairs for our neighbors who have lost jobs and have to make those difficult choices. Text REBUILD to 484848.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Here's a look at your planning forecast. Hot tomorrow and not a lot cooler on Thursday, but then we dive down into the 70s for Friday and Saturday. We're going to get some rain, possibly some good soaking rain. These are slow-moving thunderstorms.
Oh, that's right. We do need that June rain. Weren't you guys in the weather team saying Wildfire outlook is based on rain in June?
That is a yes, absolutely. That is a true statement. We need that June rain, and we are running well behind.
See, Julie and I pay attention.
Yeah,
I was going to give you a gold star.
Paying attention. Getting that call back. Learning something for a change.
Yes.